This is the highlight of the Italian Riviera, the magical 5 towns of the Cinque Terre National Park.
Cinque Terre has been listed as one of the top budget trains in the world. With 15 euro, you can pretty much go wherever you want. Buongiorno.
And it's the next leg of my journey around northern Italy by train.
This was so cool.
Famed for being home to some of the most scenic rail journeys in the world.
The view is insane.
Packed with enchanting landscapes, unique traditions and irresistible food, all waiting to be explored.
This is how it's done. Join me on my Italian Express.
For centuries accessible only by boat or mule, the Cinque Terre are 5 towns clinging to the cliffs. The clusters of brightly colored houses, cobbled streets, picturesque arbors and terraced vineyards make this a must-see for European travelers.
Almost 20 years ago, cars were banned around this area. And the only way you can get from one town to the other was hopping on the train.
Built in 1870, this line transports over 2.5 million visitors each year.
The great thing about this journey is that it only takes 10 minutes between one town and the other. And the trains, they run every 20 minutes.
The hop-on, hop-off line means you can explore all of Cinque Terre in a day. I'm going to be stopping at my 3 favorite towns. First, Corniglia, the only one not built on the water. Perched 100 meters above sea level, tiny Corniglia has just 300 permanent residents.
Hey, Ross.
Hi.
Come stai, caro?
Bene, bene.
Everything all right?
Piacere, everything
And
all
who's
right.
that? Hey, buddy.
It's my naughty dog.
Hello.
Always
It's
comes
you,
with
really.
me, Merlin.
So what are we doing today?
Today is a market in Corniglia.
Market
selling
day.
flowers.
Merlin, you're with me today.
Merlino will be
All right? Hello, buddy.
your best friend.
Hello. Mwah. Come on, let's go.
Market Day is a lifeline for these communities. Each day, the market moves to serve a different town.
Eros, how important is the market for the locals?
Yeah, it's very important because these places like Corniglia, Vernazza, it's not easy to get in here. So everybody use train.
The markets may be small, but the stalls sell all the weekly essentials.
Would you like to buy some flowers? For your boyfriend, girlfriend? You don't like flowers? Eros, we need more customers here. There is nobody.
Because it's too early. I
Do
told you.
something. Forget about the
that.
rosemary and the
No,
thing.
rosemary.
Sing, and then we can sell something.
You're right, you're right.
vai, sing, sing.
Che bella cosa,
Form a nice queue. We got basil, we got tomato, we got lettuce. You go for euro, you can have it for 3. It's fine, don't worry. Vieni qua.
Io sono vecchia.
No. She said, you don't look at me because I'm old. This is for you, my present. Un abbraccio?
Poi...
Grazie.
Stai di fronte a te.
Bravo!
Maybe if I join in the singing, we can double our profits.
Quella che ha fatto a me, dopo la lezza accisa, non te posso scordare.
See, we lost all the
Ah,
customers.
Gino,
I start
bravissimo.
to sing, there is
You're
no
the
more
best.
customer.
I don't think Andrea Bocelli has anything to worry about. On to something I'm good at, eating.
Cosino, see?
I'm having a break.
I brought you some food special from here. Stuffed
What is that?
mussels.
With what?
Yeah, you find eggs and mortadella. And
Mussels with mortadella.
mortadella and cheese, yeah.
I have to say, this is a very weird combination. Definitely the first for me. Buono però,
Sono buone.
How many flowers we sold?
A lot of flowers.
It's my singing.
Thank you for your singing, yeah?
It's my singing, my
Helping
friend.
me with the
I told you,
flowers.
you are very good. But when they start to see me singing, everybody's coming here.
Un trionfo.
Time for me to get back on the train, and the next stop along the line is Manarola. Dating back to the 14th century, is thought to be the oldest of the towns. These towns were built to produce wine. They are surrounded by steep vineyards, which also provide spectacular walking trails across the hills.
Tour guide Giancarlo.
Ciao.
Come va? Tutto a posto?
Tutto bene. Ora facciamo un pezzo di macchina e poi andiamo a piedi.
A piedi? Vabbè, io ti seguo, va.
Dai.
Va. Just asked him, how do we get up there? Praying that he wouldn't say we're going to walk all the way up there. So he said, a little bit with the car, a little bit on foot. Okay. Oh.
Noi abbiamo fatto questi muri qui, che adesso andiamo a vedere.
What is he going to show me now is the fact that they create walls with stones to make sure that when they have heavy rain, without those walls that they make, everything would be just falling down into the sea. See, as well as trains, all the Cinque Terre is connected by this mountains footpath. So from here, I can go pretty much everywhere I want in Cinque Terre. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Tell you what, I never understand these people trekking. I get trekking. Stay at home and watch only fools and horses. Why don't I get the stick, the trekking stick? This is what it's all about. The view. Vines everywhere. But did we get the right information here? 150 meters my ass. Come and trekking in Cinque Terre. It's fun. That's what they said. Clearly, I'm not a trekking kind of guy. But the view is insane. Look at that. See? Kissing the mountains.
But the heavy footfall of tourists is damaging these terraces, and Giancarlo is passionate about protecting this fragile beauty.
So this wall has been here since the 1600s, so over 400 years old. And unless they do this kind of maintenance, this will all be completely down there. And if you see those white bags there, those are dropped by helicopter. They're full of stones, and they just drop them on the land so they can use them to repair the walls. See, in the old days, traditionally, you would find the families come up here. As soon as they see a piece of the wall that was falling down, they would straight away fix the wall. It was a local tradition that, unfortunately, is completely dying now because nobody wants to look after the walls anymore. Without these walls, we wouldn't have Cinque Terre. You wouldn't have all this. You carry on. I'm gonna go to do some cooking.
I'm going to cook a healthy lunch of minestrone soup with cheesy ciabatta bread.
See, I left Giancarlo somewhere up there where we were working, but I promised him that I would prepare him a nice and healthy lunch. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do, 5 to 6 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I got carrots, onion, celery, potatoes, okay? Chop it up more or less the same size. The reason why you should do that is because when you cook them, they cook more or less at the same time. Just put in there. Now, for the cabbage, get a good sharp knife and shred it like this.
Add the cabbage and fry off for around 8 minutes.
Now, at this point, vegetable stock. Straight in. As soon as it starts to bubble, we're now then going to introduce 2 more ingredients. Courgettes and cannellini beans.
Chop the courgettes and add to the pan with the beans. Season with salt and white pepper.
White pepper is more delicate, so it works really well with minestra. And now, lower the heat and let it gently bubble for 20 minutes. This is what you want. Look, all the carrots, if you squeeze them, they're just about breaking. Perfect. The minestra is pretty much ready. I just want to give a little bit of color. And tomato puree, to me, that's the best way to give color. So, a tablespoon of that goes in there. And if you come in, you see what's happening to the minestra. Look how the color changes quite quickly. It gets a nice, kind of light orangey color. When you eat something, it shouldn't be really, really hot, because otherwise you will not appreciate the flavor. So let it rest, and then I like to serve it with a cheesy ciabatta. And how do we do the cheesy ciabatta? Very simple. Okay, I got a little bit of pecorino grated here. You can use Parmesan cheese if you want. Then I got some butter, room temperature, okay? Very important to do that. And what you want to do, with your fingertip, you want to mix the two together to create a paste.
Cut some ciabatta bread into 2-centimeter thick slices.
So very simple what you do. You get your cheesy butter, spread on top of the ciabatta like this. You could serve it with any soup that you want, or if you have a little bit of antipasti, instead of just giving ciabatta bread, you can give a bit of cheesy ciabatta bread.
Put under a hot grill for 2 minutes.
This is what you get. Beautifully. Look at that. Nice color on top. The butter is melted into the ciabatta bread there with the pecorino cheese in there.
Finally, add chopped parsley to the soup and serve.
Simple. I mean, this, when people say, what is the most simple recipe that you could cook? I always say, a nice minestra, you cannot go wrong. Now, just before you serve it, a little touch of pecorino, grate it on top, and then serve it 2 slices, cheesy ciabatta bread. Look at that. Giancarlo, il pranzo è servito.
Giancarlo is back from fixing the walls, ready for his hearty lunch.
Per te,
Oh, grazie.
una bella minestra.
Comunque è bella croccante, sì, perché semmai brucia.
Perché brucia e poi è bella al
croccante.
dente, eh? The first thing that he said, I love the fact that the vegetables are al dente and they're not just mushy. And he said, thank you for not being boiling hot. I told you. Voilà, the best table in the house.
I'm exploring the most spectacular stretch of the Italian Riviera Cinque Terre by train.
It's getting busier as the day goes on. All these people in the train.
That's if I can get a seat.
To really understand this place, I need to get up into the vineyards. So next stop is going to be Vernazza, where I'm going to meet one of the region's biggest producers.
Vernazza is 2 stops back up the line. Known as the Mini Portofino, it's the most photographed of the 5 towns. But it's the cliffs high above the picturesque harbor that holds Vernazza's most precious products, grapes. Vernazza has more vineyards than any of the other towns, and Bartolo's family have been cultivating grapes here for almost 800 years.
Bartolo, come stai, caro?
Piacere.
Tutto a posto?
Ma sì.
And who's that? Hey.
Diva.
Her name is Diva?
Diva, it's a Hollywood diva.
How old is she?
14.
14. How important is wine for this area?
Wine has been the starting point for Cinque Terre. Already 1,000 years ago, our wine was famous all over Europe because Genoa was bringing our wine all over Europe, the kingdom.
Of
in
course, they
England.
were going with boats and
Yeah.
everything.
And so these people were surviving just thanks to wine and olive oil.
See, we're now going into one of my favorite parts of Vernazza, there.
It's nice.
Seeing the vineyard going into
But you
the
see,
sea.
this is one of my vineyards. Over there are my vineyards.
So how are we going to get up there?
It's very easy, just many steps up from here.
Many steps.
Of course.
When you say many steps, what do you mean by many steps? How many steps have we got, Bartolo?
About 165.
How many steps have we done already?
A few 30.
I really hope there is a drink waiting for me at the top.
Qua.
Oh, all this is our main vineyard.
Bello qua, oh. How are we going to get up there?
You are lucky. I can
Am I?
show you sophisticated technology to go up.
Sophisticated technology. Does it mean more step?
Senza
Okay,
trenino.
first of all, what this is called?
Trenino,
Trenino, like a
Trenino.
choo-choo train.
a small
Okay.
train.
Have we gone through health and safety here?
You are supposed, so I'm always scared.
But this thing wobble. Oh, piano piano, eh?
Tutta forza, via.
Tutto a posto, tutto a posto.
Andiamo.
Piano! Which way are you going? Huh? Why did we not take the steps?
You are crazy.
You are crazy, not me. I forgot to tell you that I don't like heights.
Bartolo transports equipment up the mountain on the monorail and brings the grape harvest down.
Do you enjoy this trip?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I can see the town. Lovely.
All the history of Cinque Terre are bound to wine.
I can see the history.
Installed 8 years ago, the monorail has been a real game changer for Bartolo and his wife Lise. But high on these terraces, the rest of the work is still done by hand.
Oh, Signora, how are you? Everything okay? Mwah.
Welcome.
How do you deal with this crazy man?
I don't know.
Is this what you do every day?
Yes. This is one of my favorite vineyards.
What kind of wine do you produce? Is red, white?
The tradition in the area is white wine. When you have a vineyard on the hillside, you have a perfect drainage, so the plants will never have too much water.
Yeah.
And that's why normally the best wine is always from a hillside.
So this must be one of the toughest places in Italy to grow.
Well, yes, it goes
For
in
the
this
vineyards.
category which is called the heroic winemaking, because here we have to do everything by hand. You cannot go with a tractor.
But you seem happy.
The vineyard, the sea, Vernazza, this environment.
You got everything.
I like it. I like to have plants in my hands.
All right.
So, and I like talking with the plants and
You
try.
talk to the plants?
Yes, I talk to the plants. You have
And
to
what
tell,
do,
yeah.
do they reply?
Yeah, well, how, Paula? How are you doing today? You're not supposed to be like this. You should be more like this, you know. So everything has to be in order. And so
Okay.
on.
You haven't drunk any wine?
No.
So you just so we talk. Hello.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Does Bartolo do anything? I never seen him work. He can talks a lot.
Well.
See, I knew it. I knew it. Should we go to the bar?
Yes.
I'm gonna cook you one of my favorite desserts ever.
Wow.
Come
Yeah.
with me.
Yes.
You and Bartolo are in for a treat.
I'm putting a twist on an Italian classic with my lemon tiramisu.
I know it's not a classic. The classic one will have the espresso. But believe you me, there still is a lot of people who don't like coffee. So I came up with the limoncello tiramisu, and it's much more delicate. So the first thing we're gonna have to do is the separation of the eggs. I'll break the whole egg into the bowls like this. And then gently, you pick them up, you run them through the fingers, so the yolk is perfect, and it goes straight on one bowl. So once we separated the eggs, just whip the egg whites, okay? Very important to do the egg white first, because if the whisk is dirty, the egg white is not going to be nice and stiff.
As soon as it starts to foam, add half of the sugar.
So really what you're trying to do is to create like a meringue effect. Perfect. I'm happy. And this is what I want. Look at that. That's shiny, nice and fluffy. You know when it's ready if you can do that. Okay?
Whisk the rest of the sugar with the egg yolks until they go nice and pale.
Okay, this is nearly done. Can you see how it's changing into a pale color? That's what's happening when you put the sugar. Now, mascarpone cheese straight into the egg yolk. You could use other soft cheese, but trust me, the mascarpone is the one that every Italian would use. Whisk goes in there. Now, do it slowly. Don't overdo it. You just want to blend 3 ingredients together. And the job is done. Now, at this point, what I go? Beautiful lemon. So get the zest, go straight in. This is gonna give a nice natural freshness to the tiramisu. Now, what do? The lemon, cut in half. I got a little tray here with cold water. Get the lemon and just squeeze it. Don't worry about pips or anything like that.
Carefully fold the egg white into the yolk mixture in 3 stages. Try not to lose any air.
So basically this is done from start to finish. Probably it's gonna take 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, now the next step is to prepare the dipping for the biscuits. So remember here we got cold water, freshly squeezed lemon juice, limoncello goes straight in, like that.
Place a first layer of the lemon mixture in serving glasses as a base.
And then what you need is Savoiardi biscuit. So you get your biscuit that goes in there, 1, 2, lift it up, you break it in half like that, and that's gonna be the base of your tiramisu.
Repeat the layers and finish with a dollop of cream on top and place in the fridge to set.
Okay, so this has been in the fridge for 3 hours. See, nice and set, doesn't move. Get another lemon, and I want you to grate some fresh lemon zest on top, just to give it that extra freshness. That's it. 1, 2, and 3. This is how you do it. A limoncello and lemon tiramisu. Hey, Lise.
Hey!
This is where your limoncello is gone. One for
It looks
you.
so good.
Even
One
for
you,
me.
sir. Oh, yes. It should be nice and delicate, a nice fluffy cream.
It's very, very nice. I think it's going to be my hit for this summer.
I'll give you the recipe. So, Bartolo, what are we drinking here?
We are going to drink this Cinque Terre.
This is a dessert wine. Ragazzi, salute, eh?
Salute.
Salute.
Auguri.
Grazie, auguri, auguri, auguri. Oh, wow. Wow. The only problem with this, you get hammered very, very quickly. Di nuovo, salute.
Salute.
Next time, I'm heading to 2 of northern Italy's lesser-known cities. I enjoy the gastronomic delights of Bologna
1 goes for me.
and the arts in Verona.
I was born to be the center of attention.
Ginos Italian Express cookbook is now available at bookshops and online retailers.